Hi, my name's Tiffany Kemp and welcome to freecontractadvice.com. Now the question we're going to be answering this week is so common, so frequently asked that it's even made its way onto the back cover of my book Dealmakers. And that is, what's the difference between best endeavours and reasonable endeavours? And actually, what the hell are endeavours anyway? Which is a very good question indeed. So if that's been burning when you read contracts, hopefully today's session will be helpful to you. So first of all, what are endeavours? Well, in normal English, you'd never say, oh, I'm going to endeavour to do such a thing. You just say, I'll do it, or you'll say, I'll try, or you might say, I'll do my best. So in contract terms, we use the word endeavours when actually succeeding in doing something isn't necessarily solely within our control. It might be that we'll endeavour to close a sale this quarter. So however hard we try, we've no guarantee that it's going to close, because actually, we can lead our dear customer to water, but we can't make them drink. So that's one good example of a place where endeavours is useful. You see it quite often in completing things within a particular timescale. There are certain jobs that no matter how hard you work, occasionally obstacles come up that just mean there's no way you can get it done in time no matter how hard you work. So in those circumstances, you might say that you'll endeavour to do it within those timescales, but you can't make any guarantees. So what about best versus reasonable? Because those of you who are conscientious and hardworking and want to make your customers happy, and I'm sure that applies to you, will always want to do your best. And this is one of the big debates between salespeople and lawyers, when the salesperson said, well, of course we're going to do our best. Why wouldn't we give our best endeavours that we're going to meet the customer's requirements? And the lawyers tearing their hair out and saying no. So why is that such a big deal? Well, best endeavours really does mean you will do everything in your power to make it happen. And if that means you've got to get your chief engineer out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, or it means you've got to bring in extra contractors and pay them overtime, or it means, in the case of an airport, in a UK case last year with Jet2, that the airport has to extend its opening hours in order to meet a best endeavours obligation in its contract with the airline. And that obviously incurred significant costs for the airport concerned. So a best endeavours commitment means you're prepared to go above and beyond and actually incur some level of financial pain to meet that endeavours commitment. So you can see now why your lawyer freaks out when you offer your best endeavours. So let's take a look at reasonable instead. So reasonable is one of those terms that one man's reasonable is another man's unreasonable. Reasonable tends to mean whatever would be commercially reasonable for a company like yours providing the sorts of products and services that you provide in a deal of this nature. You wouldn't usually be expected under a reasonable endeavours obligation to do something that incurred financial loss for you, but you would be expected to do everything that a good supplier would do if it was trying to live up to a contract. So it's a much less onerous obligation than best endeavours, and generally speaking, reasonable endeavours is good enough for pretty much any contractual obligation that you might want to enter into.